That was 5. No, that was... Hello, winners, and welcome back. I'm sick, and you will hear me cough and be generally miserable today. It is Saturday as I'm making this video, and I haven't done a minute of content for this video, and the video is supposed to be released Monday, so I'm stressing out. In this video, I really wanted to talk about goal setting, but not in the boring way as to explaining what goal setting is. Everyone knows what goal setting is. I want to use myself and my blue coat as an example. If you're following me on Instagram, then you have seen a photo of a beautiful royal blue coat. That coat got so much attention, and people were asking me where I got it, and that makes me so happy and proud because I made that son of a... I made it. And that was one of my goals in the beginning of this year. I started sewing this year in February, which was 10 months ago. I have never even touched a sewing machine before. I barely even knew how to sew down a button on a shirt or anything like that because it always seemed so damn hard to me. I just have these ideas in my head, and there was no way for me to materialize the ideas. I just let that idea go because I didn't want to do the actual work. And what happens when we don't want to do the actual work? Nothing. That's right, nothing happens. Sorry, told you. Nothing happens when we don't want to do the actual work. But then something happened in the beginning of this year. This year has been such a busy year, being home with a tiny baby, working, running a business, and then I suddenly also convinced myself that I wanted to learn all these new things. The hard part was actually getting around to do the things with a baby that needs your constant attention. That's, if you don't know what that's like, wow, that's a whole nother level of difficulty, I'm telling you. I wanted to do something with my hands. I'm a very brain-based person, and I get all these ideas. I have constant ideas all the time, but I mostly work with writing. I mostly do writing, creating courses. But I wanted something creative for myself, and I wanted a way to express that creativity with my hands. I wanted something practical too. So that was that. Got myself a machine, and then I was like, okay, now what? It was so hard because, like I said, I haven't even sewn down a button before or even touched a machine. It was like, wow. There was this whole new challenge for me, and it required so much focus and concentration, which you don't get with a tiny baby running around craving your attention all the time. Obviously, I'm super proud. Don't know if I actually thought I was going to make it when I did, but that was one of my goals, that by the end of this year I was going to have the skills needed, so much that I could say, yes, I know how to sew. I had to figure out what was advanced enough for me to have as a goal, but still advanced enough so that I could still fail. So I decided that it was some kind of jacket, blazer, coat kind of garment. And during this year I have been sewing dresses for my daughter, pants, fitness clothes for myself, lots and lots of shorts, t-shirts, all of those. And if you don't know, t-shirts are not as simple as they look like. I will never ever complain about the price of clothes anymore when I go to the store. I'm telling you this. This new skill has taught me so much other things within the fashion industry and everything. I won't cover that today at all, but I will never question the price of a beautiful garment anymore. The clothes should not be this cheap as they are today. Okay, moving on. I got myself a machine, and I didn't form a goal by the time I got the machine. I'm going to say that everything I'm good at, everything that I believe I'm good at, is self-taught. I do my absolutely best learning and my best work when I'm doing it myself. What I did was I became the absolute best friends I could ever be with Google and YouTube. Not a day goes by that I don't use YouTube for something. I learn something new every day, every damn day. Not only within this new skill or goal. I mean anything. I use YouTube like a TV. I just run it in the background, and since it recommends everything that I love, I just have it running in the background, and every now and then something grabs my attention, and then I move on to more of that. Now, this is one of the things I will list in my 5 things to, or 6 things, is use YouTube. I'm seeing that not all people use YouTube and Google like I do. I use it for everything. Anything that I need, I just use Google and YouTube, and there is nothing you can't find there. Don't wait to have taught yourself or learned something enough, because enough is never enough. You will never stop learning, I hope. Please don't ever stop learning, because you were never fully taught in anything. So learn as you go. Learning as you go is the absolute best way, because then you are in the practical stuff of what you're trying to teach yourself. So learn as you go. No matter what skill you're trying to teach yourself, just go to the basics, because if you overwhelm yourself from the beginning, you will give up. This is the case with many of the goal-setting failures that you probably experienced. It's if you overwhelm yourself in the beginning, you will not continue. You will just let it go, and then 10 years will pass, and then you will say, oh yeah, right, I tried to do this once, didn't work for me. It's not supposed to work for you. You were supposed to work for it. So don't get confused there. It's not supposed to work for you. It's not supposed to just serve you the possibilities and lessons and everything you need. You are supposed to work for it. Make it super basic in the beginning. So what I did was I went to YouTube, and I would search for sewing basics. There I would learn different kind of seams, different kind of fabrics. That was very, very basic, but it was still hard enough so that it required me to actually have some sort of a mental focus to teach myself this. You have to find your basic. What is the most basic thing you can do right now? For me, it was click, order machine, and then to YouTube. I mean, those are their own steps in this. You have to start some kind of energy around this. You have to get the motion going. So now we are starting to form the goal, and this too has to be stupid simple. I had these daily goals of just making it into a habit, like sit down by my machine, grab a cup of coffee, and look at it. I swear to God, that was one of the steps, just because that will get me into this habit of getting up, having coffee, sitting down by the machine. And that is the first most simple stupid step of actually doing something, because I need to actually sit down by the machine to start any kind of project there. When you are doing anything that has to do with your goal, keep it so simple that it feels stupid. Just simplify goals. Make it as simple as you possibly can. If you need to make your goal into 101 steps, do it, but they need to be super simple. That is also how you form a habit. Make sure that you are doing something every day. Every day, to teach yourself anything new, to learn something, a new skill or anything, you need to be doing something every day, because you don't want to lose the energy of actually moving forward. So this is the part where it's still kind of simple. You have stupid simple steps. You are watching YouTube. You are making a habit out of showing up to the thing that you want to do. If it's trying to do yoga or teach yourself yoga or anything, then the absolute stupidest simple step for you to take is just showing up, rolling out your mat, maybe take a tree pose or anything. You just need to go there. If you don't have time to do anything that day, don't, but just make a habit out of going there, stand on it, and then leave if you have to. But that is a daily habit. You're forming a new neural path in your brain when you do something repeatedly. And that is the habit formation thing. And that is what's going to get you to your goal. Then you will need resilience, because in the beginning you always have motivation, right? Because you haven't even started. But then it always comes a point when the difficulty level gets a little bit higher. That is where you need resilience. What the hell is resilience? I will call it mental toughness, because here is when you need discipline and where you need to be tough and do it even though you don't want to. I'm sick and I'm sweating. I want to go to bed, but I gave myself a challenge that is making a new video every Monday. And so this is my 4th Monday. And what I'm doing to get to that goal is doing something every day. Like, for example, I haven't done any content this week, but I have been doing things around it, like learning the settings on my microphone, trying to teach myself this new editing program, trying new lighting settings and everything. So it's about doing something super small every day. This is now where I need the resilience. I need the actual toughness to pull through, even though it's super hard. All I want to do is just sleep for 3 days, but I don't have the time, and I'm still taking care of myself. I'm not telling you to ignore your health, absolutely not, but I feel good enough so that I could still reach my goal. And this is also what I did with my new skill, which was sewing. As I was doing something every day, I didn't have to think about it anymore because I formed a habit around it. So this resilience thing, you absolutely will need this. And that is why it's so important to make the first 2 or 3 steps super simple, so that you get into it long enough so that you actually build up this resilience. You can't expect to have it from the beginning. You need to feel some kind of progress before you can expect some sort of toughness or discipline or resilience from yourself, because that is what's going to give you this new motivation. If you find yourself having too much trouble, too much difficulty, and you get stuck, because you will, then back up a little bit. Go back to the last saved point when you actually felt that you were in control. Observe yourself in every situation, every reaction. Be aware of it. Be aware of when you get angry. Be aware of when you want to give up. Be aware of every feeling in every situation as you are learning. Whenever we are trying to learn something new, we are in a state of confusion. This is where we actually form a new skill, a new habit, an actual neural path in the brain. We have no past experience of this. There is no blueprint. There is no past experience or anything. So we have to form new ones. And this is why I'm telling you, just Google and YouTube all the time, and you will learn so much from other people. When you do this for every new skill, for every new situation, you will learn when you usually quit. And this is such a valuable lesson to know. Then you will realize what happens right before that. And knowing that, you can stop yourself from quitting before that happens. And you can recognize those reactions and feelings within yourself. So observe yourself. How do you feel when it goes well? And what do you do then? How does it feel when you get stuck? What do you do then? Let's say that someone you admire, someone professional, someone that has this never-ending power of action, what would they do? So get into a habit of watching yourself all the time. It was easy doing this with this sewing project because it's such a meditative thing. You have to be super focused learning something new because you haven't done it before, so you have to have all the attention on that thing. I have fallen so hard in love with this. I always loved creating things, and so watching something form from being nothing, from being absolutely nothing, just a piece of fabric, to a garment that I can wear and gives me certain feelings, and it's such a powerful thing. This is also the case with working out. For me, that's also something. I have this shape today. In 6 months, I have this shape, and in 1 year, I have this shape. I love creating something from nothing. So as you're watching yourself and watching your reactions, when you get stuck and when you quit, because you will, go back to that daily habit where you did something stupid simple that takes you just 2 seconds. For me, it was just go back, do nothing, sit by the machine, drink coffee. When you get stuck and when you quit, ask yourself, does this reflect the person I want to be? Does this reflect the reactions of someone who wants to learn something new? And ultimately, you will need to know why you were doing this at all. I have always seen myself as a creative person, and I also wanted to see myself as someone who can teach myself something that in the beginning seemed impossible. So I want to believe that I can do anything. This is a self-image I want to have. Now, this is another level. We will talk about self-images and all of this in another video, but I just wanted to mention that how you see yourself will matter. So these were the 6 steps. Learn as you go. Stupid simple steps. Simplify the goals. Do something every day. Have resilience and observe yourself when it gets tough. Okay, that was it for today. I made it. And the video will be out on time. And I will go to bed now and watch a movie and feel sorry for myself. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Subscribe, like, comment. I want to hear from you. I'm so happy to see all the new people popping in. I have this super tiny little channel right now, but I'm so proud because I'm actually consistent now, and that was also one of my goals this year. Camera died while I was saying goodbye and I didn't even notice, so I was just talking to myself this time. Okay, I'm going to bed now. Stay classy out there. See you soon, and bye.